Any favorite moments from the episodes that really stick out in your head?
The fishing episode. It was first season, and I don't know why it always like stays, but it was all the scenes with Karen and Hank down by the
fish whispering.
Yeah, but it was, I guess it was a lake, I don't know, but it was like the stinkiest pond on like the hottest day of the hottest day, it was like 40 degrees.
Oh, it was stupid hot, like just, it must have been 40. And then there's dead fish on the beach, and David's story goes, oh, we gotta clean that up. Okay, so he cleans it up, and all he did was, you know, so that just messed up all the flies and everything, just all over. And you couldn't, it was just awful, and you sweat, like just, it was just gross. And the thing I always thought about was like, that sort of, I think that was a defining moment for the crew, because if there was ever a day where somebody could just spaz and lose it, and you'd be, you know, I can understand that. That was the day, and nobody did. You know, everybody just went, well,
we're in this
that's
now.
what it is. When I find myself in the dappled sunlight on these shores, existence fades into the sound of water.
But it was so funny because it was a really hard, obviously a really hard day. Like it was a tough, you know, situation to shoot in. But one of the most memorable ones because I think we got through it and we had so much fun. And then seeing it was like absolutely hilarious.
And it became, yes, it became a real kind of standout scene. People talked about, you know, the fish whisperer stuff and Karen and Hank making out.
Kiss me, fish man. Like that was like, ooh, that was risque.
It was a pretty edgy show.
Last time I was fishing, Hank was... I had strange feelings. Tingly feelings. Decided it'd be better not to go.
What did you, Lorne Cardinal, breathe into the character of Davis Quinton that maybe wasn't there on the page, or what you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think what I found is that he's not. Well, he's very passionate about whatever he's doing. He's totally in 100% or nothing.
Yeah. All or nothing with Davis.
And he's totally serious. Like everything he does, he loves. You know, he just loves it. But he's not gay.
He's not.
No.
People often ask.
I know.
I say not to the best of my knowledge. What is it? What's your process to bring that character alive?
Well, there's lots of. It's very complex and a deep process I go through, but I listen for the rhythm mainly, for the rhythm. And working with Tara Spencer-NAIRN was a gift, and it was a really good fit, and she's a great spark plug to work with.
There are some strange similarities between you and Tara. Let's some of those there.
Okay, we're both left-handed.
Both left-handed.
Both Capricorns, both born on the same day.
Freaky deaky.
Yeah. I'm a bit taller, but
I never noticed that.
But she's way more beautiful, so.
I wasn't an actor. I never trained as an actor, and seeing you guys bring these characters to life was kind of an education for me. It was very fascinating. What's the process of that? Like, how do you get to know the character, or what do you breathe into the character? Or?
What I really liked with what you did with her is that you guys from the very beginning didn't, you know, make her the regular big city gal that knows everything, or I mean it wasn't that, you know what I mean? She had such a big heart and was like in some ways kind of small town. So yeah, the first couple episodes I was freaked. I remember a couple times being in the car with Nancy and I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Lacey, are you having some kind of thing with Brent?
No. Maybe. I mean, we almost had a thing. I think.
Settle down. You're getting me hot.
Looking back, are there any kind of Wanda moments that stick out in your mind? Any moments that you really liked or enjoyed, either doing or watching?
I liked Pink Eye. I thought that was fun. Running around and terrorizing everybody. It's not Pink Eye! It's very dusty in here!
Get back! Get back! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah. Don't touch anything, just go! Get!
What have you, as an actor, brought into the character that wasn't on the page?
All her mannerisms, because none of those are ever scripted. So she has a lot of mannerisms that I don't have. And I think it's because I find her tight, that she's in her head. And I think I brought in a bit of vulnerability to her. I think in the episode where it started was Pilates twist.
Pilates? What's that about?
Oh, it's a great way to stay in shape, but it can be a little tricky. I took a class in Toronto, so I thought I'd show people here how it's done. Do you want to join?
No, thank you. Her nose was out of joint because Lacey started a Pilates class, and she had been doing, Wanda had been doing mat class. And all of a sudden, she was a little hurt, and I made her a little more wounded because I thought, I want to see that side of her. I want people to know that she's not nasty, she's just preoccupied.
Wow. It's a big deal. For grade 7.
Well, let's talk about that. Favorite character moments, favorite moments of episodes for either of you.
I think it was the Oscar dying funeral.
Uh-huh.
I was wrong, as I was often when we argued. In fact, now that he's gone, I realize that every argument we ever had was my fault and Oscar was always right.
I feel the same way, Ma. I wish I'd listened more. Dad was always right.
Yeah. I was thinking about that, and it actually tickled me no end. When we all looked in the coffin and...
Bye, Oscar.
That's one of my favorite episodes too, and in the first year. And I think there's a lot in that first year that was so...
I guess it was all new?
Totally new.
And you remember it.
And we were left alone. I mean, you know, you're kind of doing this show. Nobody knew anything about it, or, you know, we'd laugh our way through. People would come into the gas station, try and buy gas, and then be, oh, terribly sorry, you know. It's always, it's like, I'm always surprised how reluctant Canadians are to interrupt filming. They just take it so, I'm sorry, you know, as if it was the most important thing they'd interrupt.
The Oscar character, when you read him on the page, did you figure you knew this chap?
Well, to a certain extent, yeah. You know, the character is very good. I was actually so surprised talking to you that your dad himself wasn't an angry man. You know, he didn't have this default position of anger.
But it was kind of, it was easy for me to write because it was just exact polar opposite of my father. It took a lot to get my father upset about anything. He was a very low-key, even-keel dude, which made for bad drama, right, when you're trying to write. I always said the dialogue was like, hey, you want to go fishing? Sure. That's not very good. So I thought if I stood him on his head and just the opposite of my father. So in a way, I mean, there's a piece of my father in there, in so much as it's the other side of the coin.
But Oscar's just like this fantastically bratty child.
Didn't see that coming. That stupid dingo.
Well, he's not very mature. I mean, and there's that level of him. And I think that's what I love about the 8 and 12-year-old boys that come up to Oscar. I think they identify with him, you know. He's kind of, I want this and I want it now, you know. And jackass, of course, they love that word.
Who was that?
I don't know. Some jackass, 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 jackass.
Yeah, jackass.
Jackass is my thing.
I loved the word jackass. That's why I put it in the script originally. But I gave it to Oscar.
You should have had it yourself.
I have to, you know, watch you enjoy it over the years. And I can't really say it now because it's kind of like, oh,
It's yours.